East Podcast, WATP.
Pat, have we talked about Tom Myers on the show together before?
No, I've watched you talk about Tom, and I guess I'm Facebook friends with Tom because he's commented on some things, but I don't know much about Tom.
Whoa, I didn't know that. I'm looking at you differently now.
I didn't know that. I guess he follows me on Facebook and Instagram, and he goes, "What's wrong with comment?" And I didn't know. I'm like, why do I know this guy? And then I heard you shitting on him. I'm like, holy shit, it's that guy.
I think I respect you more now, sir. That's impressive. All right, so Tom does these monologues for every podcast that he does. And him and his other friends who are super duper liberal Democrat people get together and try to make as many jokes about the fact that Donald Trump is racist as possible. So you're going to love this punchline because it's so unique. Even Tom surprised me with where he went with this one.
A lot's happening this week. Donald Trump's criminal trial started on Monday. He fell asleep during the first moments of the first day of the trial. I could see how that would happen. If he and people like him don't get enough racism, xenophobia, and demonization of women in a particular form, they would find it boring enough to doze off as well.
Okay, I lied. It's actually just the exact same joke that he always tells. He's like, so Donald Trump did a thing, blah, 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 blah. He's racist. It's every fucking punchline. Donald Trump, xenophobia. Okay, good one. Thanks. And Pat, this has to kill you for someone who actually writes jokes.
Well, yeah, because there wasn't a punchline. It's a premise build up to a thing. Okay, now give me an example of the things that Trump does. If you had him like chasing a black guy and then taking a nap, okay, or like doing other things afterwards.
Right.
It's like telling a Puerto Rican to get off his lawn and then getting in a hammock because I can relax now.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's called a joke, Tom. You know what's not a joke is this guy I don't like did this thing and I don't like it because he's racist. Not a joke.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm sitting there going, tell me more about his racism. And he's like, I'm good.
Yeah, this guy sounds interesting.
Make it a fart joke.
All right. Well, he doesn't do that.
He's known for them.
All right. So this is leading. He takes that joke and he bounces right to this one.
To be fair, that's the exact reason why the number of incels who used to listen to the show has greatly decreased since the first episode.
Okay. Tom calling anyone an incel is quite rich, in my opinion. How the fuck does this guy get off saying that, you know what? The incels don't listen anymore because they're all dumb Republicans. I wish, and obviously hindsight's 2020, Blind Mike got to interview Tom Myers recently. I wish he would have asked him, Tom, describe a vagina. What does a boob feel like? Just questions like that to see what he would say.
But Carl, he didn't say incels don't listen. He said the listening of incels has decreased. So he called his listeners still incels. There's some there that he just called that.
That's true. Because he knows that some of his listeners cut up his show and then play clips of it on their show. Might be a reference to us. I don't know.
We do a census. It's like we used to have tons of incels.
Yeah, right. Is he putting out surveys? Like, how is he finding this out? Like that's not a demographic that YouTube gives you. I can tell you, YouTube will tell you the age range, the gender, where they live. Not how
if
often
your
they
mom
have sex.
filled this out.
Right. All right. So here we go with some Trump analogies. Try to make sense of this.
It's gotten so bad. Donald Trump is basically like an old blanket that your child hangs on to that will never get clean no matter how many times you wash it. So you sneak it away when your child isn't looking and you just burn the fucking thing.
Okay. That's the first analogy. How does that make any sense? Are they burning? I mean, I know you want to murder Trump, but what do you mean it's a blanket that you have to sneak from your child and then burn?
Did someone do that to you, Tom?
Oh,
and your blankie?
Maybe that happened to Tom.
Yeah, because it sounds so specific.
Which also means that one time they just stole the blanket and threw it out. He found it in the garbage, got it again, and they had to torch the fucking blanket.
That's right. Yeah, because there were specific steps involved in that.
Yeah.
That's my jizz blanket.
That was your jizz blanket.
It's going to come to life, I swear. All right. The thing that I want to point out here on this specific episode, Jeff Heisen's not there. He's usually the main co-host guy, but he's got these women on, and the over-the-top laughter that you are going to hear on these jokes. Let me just play that punchline again and then listen to the laughter.
So you sneak it away when your child isn't looking and you just burn the fucking thing. Donald Trump is the toy that keeps dying no matter how many fresh batteries you put into it. You have to get rid of it and just rationalize to yourself, he'll cry for a little bit and forget about the damn thing in a week and a half, tops.
That's the most uncomfortable laughter ever. And none of it makes sense. None of those analogies make sense. He's like a toy. Batteries don't work. You'll get rid of it. He's going to cry about it. And the one woman goes, she's just like, I guess we're laughing now.
Yeah.
He must have been standing there like, and then she went,
I don't hear laughing.
okay. All right. Well, this one is going to get thunderous laughter. Okay. All right.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that he won't run to be the Libertarian Party candidate for president. It says something when a fringe political party who is willing to take anybody hears you don't want to run for president on their ticket and is relieved.
What? It's not even a joke, Tom.
yeah, it's a statement.
It's a statement.
And they weren't really relieved. They didn't go, woof. Like there was
No,
like,
none of that happened.
Now, Tom, now give an example of somebody being relieved for a thing they don't be relieved of.
Yes.
That's what a joke is.
That's how you write a joke, Tom.
You give the thing the crowd needs to know. Here you go, baby birds, and then you tell the joke. Now they have the knowledge.
You know, it's Jay Leno used to do this thing. I make fun of it all the time. But on the Tonight Show, I make, hey, did you hear about this? The true story. Tom does that, but he just tells you the true story. And then,
Right.
okay. And then what? Unbelievable.
Tom's like, you see the movie Oppenheimer? Dumb. And he just moves on. Just like, okay. What about it?
It's also, the premise doesn't make any sense because RFK Jr. is a lifelong Democrat, so it wouldn't make sense for him to be a libertarian candidate. Tom doesn't understand anything about politics outside of his tiny little world. He's so fucking stupid.
Not only that, he's polarizing and would draw more eyes to the libertarians if he did go there. They would be not relieved if he said, fuck you, you're not good enough for me. That's not how they felt.
Yeah, right, correct. All right. So I'm happy to report to you this next joke actually has an example. This is exact. He's already taken your advice, Pat. This is amazing.
Okay, good.
It's just the lowest hanging fruit possible.
A staffer for Kennedy's New York campaign office was fired. Apparently, she misidentified herself as the state's campaign chair when she wasn't. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. firing someone for cause and misrepresentation just doesn't make sense. It's a bit like Harvey Weinstein firing someone for sexual assault.
We almost did it, Tom. We almost did it.
Yeah.
You need one more line. It's almost like sexual assault. Da, 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 da. Punchline.
Right.
That would have been sweet. Good premise. Nice
No,
build.
no,
What
you're
are we
not
leaving
getting
on?
it. No, Pat, he's in jail right now for assaulting people sexually.
Yeah.
Don't
Maybe
you get it?
talk about that.
Now there's a premise right there. He's so
Not
fucking
everyone knows Weinstein's fuck game.
He's so fucking stupid. He thinks that that's a joke. You're just like, that would be like O.J. Simpson signing my knife. You're like, what? What are you talking about? O.J.'s coming up in just a second. All right. Speaking of O.J., this joke makes zero sense to me. If you guys can explain it, I'm all ears.
And of course you knew I had
And another big laugh. So wait for the laughter here.
And of course you knew I had to cover this particular story in this opening monologue. O.J. Simpson died. Say what you will about O.J. and his reputation, but he is going to get one hell of a police escort for his funeral.
Oh, whoa. It's almost like there was a bunch of memes like that. Like 1,000 memes.
Yeah.
That said the same thing. But at least they had a picture of the Broncos, so you got the joke.
Right. So that made a lot more sense. There's
Yeah.
also the thing where it's like, fortunately now Nicole's real killer is dead or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've seen 1,000 people make that joke. Brad Williams did that joke. He tweeted it out, and then on stage he's just like, and everyone's stealing my joke. Okay.
I got one joke out quick. I did see some people steal it. I'm sure other people thought when every comic's trying to think of a thing that happens.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of the same thought. We're all focusing on the same thing.
Correct.
I just said I can't wait for the book to come out if I did it by cancer. And I got a bunch of shit on TikTok from that.
That's good.
That's
But I
pretty
did
good.
it at 9 a.m. too, so I got it in early.
Yes,
so I had proof, and I'm sure other people, when thinking of it, thought of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I texted Carl my submission as soon as possible. As soon as I got the news, I'm like, oh, I got to hurry up.
Well,
Yeah.
if you were our friend Stuttering John Melendez, you would take a screen grab of that joke with the timestamp and then respond to everyone else who had a similar joke with your joke. Going, hack. Yeah, hack. That's the move.
Apparently, I'm holding the New York Times with the date on it right here at the same time. I made up 9/11 first.
All right. So now we're going to go to a Hertz rent-a-car joke. I don't think Tom Myers was alive when OJ was.
I wasn't.
Okay. Yeah. When OJ was the spokesperson for Hertz rent-a-car. But get ready for this one. Another big laugh, too.
I hope his caretakers were fans of his old Hertz rental car commercials, and in his last moments, they all shouted, "Go, OJ, go." That's good enough. And on that note, on with the show.
So I actually went back and went on YouTube and did some research. I'm like, was "Go OJ Go" the tagline for Hertz? Because it wouldn't be a good tagline for a company to remember Hertz, right?
Right.
I couldn't find a single example of anyone saying "Go OJ Go" in a Hertz rental car commercial. Now maybe I didn't find it. Do you remember
There
what those
was
commercials?
one. I remember a commercial where OJ for Hertz was running through the airport,
Yes,
holding his
right.
thing, hurtling shit.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah.
someone in the background yelled, "Go, OJ!" Go. Maybe, but it was more about him weaving and getting there in time, like doing all his football moves.
Yeah, no, I
But
watched a
even
few
if
of
he didn't
those.
say that, if you wanted to make that up, Tom, and I hate to help you, you would say, for those who don't remember, OJ, before he killed his wife, used to help out Hertz Rent-A-Car. He had a commercial where they yelled, "Go, OJ, go." Now the only people yelling for that are the ones at his funeral procession. Boom, see you later. We're done.
Right. There you go. Because again, Jay Leno always says, "Did you see this in the news? This is what happened."
Right.
So now we're all on the same page. We're all with you. Okay, now what's the joke to go along with that? But this whole
It's the
thing.
Chris Rock thing. I'm going to yell black people, and then I'm going to talk about black people. Then I'm going to remind you I'm saying black people. And then you say
Yes.
black people. You remind morons of what you're talking about.
So the other thing about that, because I was watching those commercials, if someone in the background is yelling "Go OJ Go," there's a voiceover guy talking about how convenient it is to get a Hertz rental car because that's what they're advertising. It's not an advertisement for O.J. Simpson's running ability. He wasn't.
That's been well established.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to get traded to the 49ers. He's just like, if you watch this commercial, I'm very fast.
That's his real.
Did you guys know black people are quick? Like, holy shit. It's on TV
Trump
now.
knows.
Whatever do you mean?
All right, so now we just heard the end of the monologue. So that's all the pre-written jokes. So now I want to see, how does he do when he's thinking on his feet?
Oh, how does he riff?
Yeah, he's just having a conversation with his dumb co-host.
I'm sure he's great.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic.
So how's everyone doing this week?
Pretty good. I mean, I think I'm I'm probably the only one of the generation here. I still say we're going to OJ through something. Like if we're running, we OJ through the airport or whatever. And I have to catch myself because it's just how that's how Gen Xers do. We OJ through things because we're running, and that's just, we remember those commercials.
I mean, us millennials have that curse where we used to say, we just, we have a great time, we're doing that thing. We're just Pee Wee Hermaning everything, and, which just means now we have to. Now we have to stay out of theaters. Maybe Lauren Boebert and I are in the same age bracket,
yeah.
so that's how.
Aw.
Wow, Tom. All of that conversation was stupid. It made Chris D'Elia sound like the smartest guy in the world. So she says that we used to say we OJ through things. Like grew up a Bills fan. We're in Western New York. I've never heard anyone say that.
Never heard it.
I don't know.
I've heard people say they're going to Kool-Aid man their way through something
Sure.
and bust through a wall. That's something that stays with you.
Well, I've also
OJ
heard
killing
people
his
say-
wife is way more popular than other things.
Yeah, I know. I've also heard people say I'm going to OJ my ex-wife. I've heard that
Right,
expression many times. That makes sense to me. But OJ meaning run fast through something, not so much. And Tom's comedic instinct just like funny celebrity, funny celebrity, funny celebrity. Pee Wee Herman. theater. Lord Boebert. Good stuff, Tom. Killing it over here.
And also trying to make it more relevant by going Pee Wee Herman.
Right.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't help either.
Also
That's a very
dead.
old story, yes. All right. One more clip on here. He's back to his scripted stuff now because he does that quick interaction and then he's back to, all right. And then, blah, 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 blah. But there's a weird edit in here. I think Tom fucked up and went back and cleaned it up.
Most of the American people disagree with Republicans. The panel right now is looking at my shocked face, and you, the listener, are listening to my sarcasm voice. The irony is that the Dobbs case came from Mississippi, and now Arizona's abortion laws were written into law in 1864. Basically, the Civil War was there to remind us.
So I don't think he knew the date.
Basically, the Civil War
Oh, wait. Let me back that up just a little bit. Listen to this edit where he says the date.
laws were written into law in 1864.
They were written into law in 1864.
Mr. Black.
So anyway, I just thought that was because he does that a lot. He goes back and cleans up, and it's funny because there's so much more I would clean up.
Oh, I know.
I would put in laugh tracks,
Punchlines.
Yeah, punchlines. Yeah, I would add a lot of things to that show. But
If it's going to be that bad, don't edit it all.
right,
At least say, hey, we were just going live on the thing. It could have been more thing, but we're trying to be in the moment and go that way. Like, if you edit it, then I want to hear it professionally done and good, and you would just take out the whole show.
what show were we just reviewing recently? Oh, it was Pure Genuine. So Chris and I were reviewing this podcaster who can't get a thought in her head and then spit it out of her mouth. And it's edited, but she leaves in all the, yes, you guys, yeah. I'm like, why not edit that part out? What do you do? Don't edit it all if you're going to be this bad. When you edit it, makes me think that you're bad at editing.
Well, that's what makes it fascinating.
That's what makes it fascinating, yeah.
She's got cue cards that says, yeah, anyway,
yes,
yeah.
Who Are These Podcasts?